and then you turn out to support a Republican, wow, do they come for you. The left hates an apostate like that, but it's a sign of their ideological weakness and inability to accept reality, in my view.
Hello and welcome to Spectator TV. Today we're going to be talking about the power of Elon Musk, because Elon Musk, as the world's richest man, is very much in the news at the moment due to his close budding friendship with Donald Trump, the re-elected president of the United States. Douglas Murray, the Spectator's very own Douglas Murray, has written a cover piece this week called Planet Elon, in which he explores this extraordinary relationship between the two men and what it might mean for American politics and the world. Douglas, it's easy to forget that not so long ago, and in fact still, I think, Elon Musk will refer to himself as a moderate Democrat.
So here we are today with another interview with Douglas Murray, the inimitable Douglas Murray, a writer for the British magazine The Spectator, which is sort of a political and cultural magazine, conservative leaning, absolutely. And Douglas Murray, as anyone who's been watching this channel knows, he's a conservative, you would say. He's written several books, mainly focusing on the problems of mass migration, specifically in Europe. He's got a whole book on that called the slow suicide of Europe, or the strange suicide of Europe, or something like that. It's all about mass migration from the third world, specifically from Muslim countries, Islamic countries, to Europe, and how it's just completely upending European societies. So, in general, I'm a big fan of Douglas Murray. Can't say I agree with everything he has to say, but I do agree with many of the important things. Let's see what they have to say today.
That 16 years ago he queued up to meet Barack Obama and shake his hand. That only in May last year he launched a SpaceX with Ron DeSantis, suggesting that he was at least open to the idea of Ron DeSantis as the Republican nominee and not Donald Trump. And yet, by August of this year, he was doing a SpaceX with Donald Trump, and since then the two men seem to have become closer and closer, so much so that some people are worried now that Elon Musk has perhaps too much of a hold over Donald Trump. What do you put down, where do you think that relationship began, that closeness began? What in Elon Musk's mind changed?
I think all we can really go on is the public record, and that shows that it was the would-be assassin's bullet in Butler, Pennsylvania, that changed everything. As I say in the piece, the cover piece in The Spectator this week, that attempted assassination of Donald Trump on stage, that incredibly near miss, had a lot of consequences, which historians will ruminate on. But one of the most powerful was that there was an immediate response from Elon Musk and some others. Bill Ackman is another example of people who just saw this moment, saw how perilously close America had come to an absolute catastrophe, saw Donald Trump's response to that very close shave and his fight, and decided that even if they'd been teetering before or wondering about a public endorsement, now was the time to get behind former President Trump. And Bill Ackman did that in a tweet. Elon Musk did it in a tweet. And in a way, that changed everything. And one of the things it changed was that, first of all, Elon Musk showed that he was all in with Trump. And when Elon Musk is all in, he really is all in. And he didn't just commit his considerable resources to the campaign. He encouraged others to join him in funding for the Trump campaign. But most crucially, in a way, was that he actually put his time into campaigning with and for Donald Trump.
Yeah, that was interesting, of course. Something did seem to change with the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. I agree with Douglas Murray here. And of course, Elon Musk's support, his financial resources, and as Douglas Murray says, his time, he actually literally campaigned in person with him. I think that probably did make a big difference. It's impossible to quantify now. Who knows what difference it made, but in my mind, it certainly didn't help. It certainly didn't hurt. I think it can only have helped. And of course, now we know that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to head up supposedly something called the Department of Government Efficiency, in which they vow to completely slash whole governments or whole agencies of the United States government. I'm all for that, of course. In fact, if you're against a Department of Governmental Efficiency, that just tells me that you're against the American people. If that just tells me you're not doing anything worthwhile. And of course, I have people in my family. I've talked in other videos. You all have heard me talk about how my entire family are, true blue, die-hard libtards, Democrats, leftists. They range. Progressives. Different people are in different places on the spectrum, but they're certainly completely opposite of me. I am the only one in my entire family who you could call conservative or right wing or traditionalist. So they're seething hard. They've been seething hard about the not only the election of Donald Trump, but his cabinet picks so far, this creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, and all this talk of just getting rid of federal departments. They just for them it's just inconceivable that the Department of Education, which was only created sometime in the 1970s, should somehow be disbanded. Well, that's the way America works. Every state has its own education department, which determines determines the overall educational policy for that state. And I think the curricula and stuff are decided at even a lower level, like at the school district level. I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That might be decided at the state level too. But the federal government's mandates are outrageous. They got all sorts of mandates about all sorts of things, which just shittify the American educational system, add many layers of bureaucracy and administration, which waste resources and ultimately harm the education of our children. So that's just one example. So I'm very much looking forward to all the coping and seething and the salty tears that are going to be flowing once this new administration actually starts.
And that really had an enormous effect on the campaign. I think that the world's richest man is the sort of most obvious label for him, but he deserves, in a way, a different label. Which, the world's greatest innovator. This is a man who, as I mentioned a few weeks ago in The Spectator, parallel parked a rocket in his spare time, and so he's an aspirational figure as well as an inspirational figure for a lot of people. And I think him throwing himself all in behind Trump just had a huge add-on effect to the already growing Trump campaign.
There was a lot of talk in the run-up to the election, and indeed since, about Trump's appeal to men. And in talking about the shooting there, we are talking about a very male reaction to masculine virtues. And it's interesting that seems to be a growing force among liberals, among Democrats, this sort of recognition that manly attributes are important.
Well, yes. It's funny to be in a world where that's surprising. It's only because of the weird sort of white dudes for Kamala sort of fakery, where there was an attempt to pretend that the most important thing in this election was for white dudes to fight for their daughter to be able to abort their grandchild faster.
Very well put.
Or later. That seemed a strange appeal to voters. Yes, I mean, I think that to a great extent there is a reaction to a massive overreach on the part of the left. The overreach was, of course, all of the gender woo-woo nonsense of recent years, all this just stupid time wasting, all of the rudeness, the just horrible language that was used against men, and not just language, but I mean hiring and much more. It being perfectly possible for people to say, we need more women, or we need fewer white men, or all of this sort of thing. It was incredibly divisive, very racist, and of course, I mean, it's impossible to imagine it happening any other way round. I mean, if you advertised, if you said, we need lots more men in this particular industry, and women shouldn't apply, I think we'd hear from women a bit about that. And so yes, there was this massive overreach by the left against men, and now there's a reaction to that. But yes, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. I think Douglas Murray is absolutely correct. I think the pendulum looks like it might be starting to swing back in the other direction. We shall see. Could just be a blip, could be a fake out of some sort. But I agree 100%. Why? I've talked about this. I mean, I have 4 daughters. I've been surrounded by women my entire life. A mother, a stepmother, 4 daughters, 2 ex-wives. So I've been surrounded by women my entire life. But what's all this nonsense about? Yes, we must encourage girls and women to go into STEM, for example. Well, why? Why must we encourage that? If they want to, fine. If a particular girl is interested in that stuff, in STEM subjects when she's at school, sure, why not? Encourage it, absolutely. One of my daughters is a doctor, for example. I would never discourage that. But to somehow say that we need more women engineers, do we? No, we need more competent engineers. Yeah, whoever they are, absolutely. We need more competent people in all the areas of the economy where people actually do real jobs. People who do real work that keeps our society, people who maintain and develop the physical infrastructure and plant of our society. We really need those people, because all the softies, not just leftists, not just libtards, I think everybody doesn't realize that there are a lot of systems out there which require a lot of intelligent people to run and to keep running. They require oversight. And as the boomers get older and die off, a lot of expertise is dying off with them. And to think that AI is going to, unplug, clean out the sewers, or repair a faulty pylon on an electric grid, or weld this or that, it's just madness. And we want competent people to do that. We don't just want people to do it because we think it would be good to have more of a certain group of people doing it, whether women or whether minorities or whoever. I don't think anybody cares. When a fire breaks out in your house, you want a proper fireman to come and save your ass, right? You don't want a diversity hire, or you don't want a woman who's been hired just because she's a woman and can't carry you down the ladder. You've passed out because you've inhaled smoke. And you need somebody strong and capable to carry you down the ladder and put out the fire. That's what you want. You want toxic masculinity. Same thing when war breaks out. You need toxic masculinity to fight your battles and protect you. That's the way the world works. Our veneer of civilization is actually quite thin. So anyway, I'm going off on a bit of a rant and a tangent here. That's a little bit of Douglas Murray. Interesting to see that he's written an article in The Spectator about Elon Musk. I think I will see if I can find it. Maybe I will comment specifically on that article in another video. Let me know what you think about all this, and in the meantime, please like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel and continue making content for you.